Okay, in this video, I am going to demonstrate how to do challenge number 2, flying a balloon. So this little stick figure, he's going to walk and he's carrying his balloon, and then his balloon gets away and he starts crying. So we're going to do that. So we're going to start out by opening Piskel app. You can click on this link. You're going to click Create Sprite, and then resize your, depending on how pixelated you want your animation to be, you can resize. I used 150 by 150 for mine. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go to my webcam not working. I'm going to go to my resize button right here, and I'm going to type in 150, and then notice it fills it in on both. Make sure you hit the enter key, otherwise it won't be accepted. So I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to just zoom out a little so I can see my entire canvas. Let's move that out of the way. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the ground. So it says choose the color you want, use the rectangle tool, also choose your pen size, choose the rectangle tool, then you fill it in with the paint bucket, draw anything else on your ground to enhance it. Like if you want to draw flowers or trees or a house or animals, whatever it is you want to draw. And then we're going to change the name of the layer. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. I'm going to choose 2 for my pen size. I'm going to go down to my color, and I'm going to go somewhere in the green area. And because I'm thinking like I'm doing like a park or grass or something, I'm going to click my rectangle tool on the toolbar, and I'm going to kind of visualize about halfway up, and I'm going to draw a rectangle. And if it goes off the page, it's not a big deal because we're filling it in with the paintbrush or the paint bucket anyway. And then I'm going to go to my paint bucket. I'm going to click inside the rectangle to color it. And then you can, do anything you want to enhance it. So maybe I'll do a little darker green, and I'll draw some I'm going to change my size to 1 and maybe draw little like divots in the grass or something. So if, you don't have to draw anything to enhance, but if you want your picture to look different or whatever, you can feel free to add whatever you want. Okay. But most importantly, when you're done, go over to the layer section over here, double click on the words layer 1, and we're going to rename this layer ground. We don't want to keep our layers layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, because then we'll never remember what they are. So go ahead and rename your layer. The ground is done. We're going to move on, and we're going to create the sky. So we're basically going to go through the same procedure, okay? But first, before you even start, go to your layer section. Click the plus button so the sky is in its layer all by itself. So click plus, double click the words layer 1. Let's name this sky and hit enter. Go down to your color over here. Choose a color for your sky. So I'm going to go somewhere in the nice light blue range. I'm going to change my pen size back to 2. I'm going to use my rectangle because then it takes up a lot of space here. I'm going to start in the top left corner. Oops, I missed. I'm going to Control Z. I'm going to go a little higher. And if it overlaps your green ground a little bit, that's not a big deal. Use your rectangle, or use your paint bucket, to color it in. You can add whatever you want to your sky. So maybe I would go to like a nice kind of white color here, and maybe use my pen tool and draw like a little bit of a fluffy cloud, and fill that in, do something like that. So you're welcome to do any of that to enhance your sky as well, okay? Moving on to the next step, we're going to create the person. So I did a stick figure. You're welcome to do a stick figure, but if you feel like you are a really good creative artist and you want to draw a better figure, please go ahead and do so. Just know that it might be harder to move, to make changes to the figure, to animate the figure if it's not just a basic stick figure, okay? So we're going to use the plus symbol to add a new layer. We're going to name it person. We're going to choose our pen size and then use our pen, stroke, and circle tools to draw our stick figure. You are required to draw at least a head that has eyes and a mouth on it, a body, and arms and legs, okay? So I'm going to come back in. I'm going to click the plus symbol in my layer section. Instead of layer 1, I'm going to double click and I'm going to type the word person. Okay, I'm going to change my color to black because I'm going to just draw my figure with an outline of black. I'm going to leave my pen size. I'm going to start with my oval, and I'm going to draw the head, and then I'm going to draw one eye, and I'm going to draw a second eye. I try to make them about the same. I'm going to use my pen tool, and this person's going to be happy, and I'm going to draw a body, and I'm just going to draw some basic legs and arms for right now. So just basic stuff. That's it. Okay, nice and easy. What's going to happen next? We're going to draw a balloon. So again, we're going to click the plus button in the layer section to add a layer, double click and name it balloon, change or choose our pen size, then use the pen, stroke, and circle tools to draw a balloon, choose a color, and use the paint bucket to color the balloon. Okay, so let's start with our layer section. Let's hit the plus symbol, double click the words layer 1, and name this balloon, and then hit enter. Okay, I'm going to use a black outline, I think, for my balloon, but I'm going to click my oval button, and I'm going to draw a balloon. going to zoom in because balloons like have that little piece on the bottom that kind of, oh, you know what? I don't want to still have my oval. And like this little, I don't know, like the little piece of the balloon, like when it's tied off, it has that little piece. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, now I'm going to decide on a color for my balloon. So maybe I'll do a red balloon this time. So, oops, let's use my paint bucket. I'll color that in. I'll color this little section in. And then I need a string. I'm going to make my string kind of like a whitish gray, I think. So I'm going to go kind of to this area. What size do I want the string? Should we try 1? Let's see what 1 will look like. And then if not, I'll change it to 2. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and I'm going to have it coming out of the person's hand. All right, so now the person's holding the balloon. Woohoo! Look at how nice this is. All right, let's see what's next. To create the animation. All right, so we're going to click the person layer. We're going to duplicate the frame, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment. We're going to use the eraser tool to erase parts of the person we want to change, like maybe the position of the arms, the position of the legs, maybe the facial expression. Okay, we're going to redraw the parts of the stick figure. That's why I think it's better to do a stick figure as opposed to like a fancy person, because you're going to be erasing and redrawing, and boy, I don't think you want to redraw, you know, if you put a lot of work into drawing the person, okay? I said remember to turn your onion skin on first, so I'll remind you to do that. And then we're going to click the balloon layer, move it, and or eraser tool to move the balloon. Continue duplicating your frame and making adjustments to your person and your balloon. After a few frames, make your person lose the balloon and have the balloon start to float away, and then give your animation a dramatic ending, like I did mine was crying. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to my person layer. Click on your person layer. Okay, I am going to go up here to the frame section, and I'm going to click the duplicate this frame button in the bottom right corner. Okay, now notice there's no movement because we have 2 of the exact same frames. I'm going to turn on my onion skin, and I'm telling you right now, 12 frames per second is too fast for me, so I'm going to just adjust this to 6. You might have to adjust it faster or slower as you work, depending on, whoops, not 0, depending on what you like. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take my eraser. Okay, I'm going to take my pen, and I'm going to fill in the top of the eyes like this guy's. Oops, hold on. I got to change my color to black. Zoom in a little. I'm going to fill in. It's going to kind of look like he's blinking. So I'm going to use my paint bucket, and I'm going to fill in the eyes. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side, kind of draw a line going across, use my paint bucket, color that in. And then, so you can kind of see his eyes are flashing like it's like almost halfway closed. He's going to move his arms. So I'm going to take the eraser. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so it erases better or faster. And I'm going to erase his arm. Now you can still see a shadow behind it. And the reason you can see a shadow is because when your onion skin is turned on right here, it shows you the location of these parts of the body on the frame before it so that you know how to move it. Okay, so now I'm going to click on my pen. This was how his arm went on frame 1. So maybe on frame 2, it comes down a little on both of his arms. Maybe this one comes down a little too. And then I'm going to try to look like he's running. So maybe his legs will do something like this. And you go, that's that second leg is a little fancy. Maybe the second leg will just be down straight. Okay. Now, I like my animation to move a little slower. So, before I do this, I got to take my balloon. I'm going to just use my move tool because I'm not going to actually change the size of it. I'm just going to take the move tool and I want to move it so the string is still touching this person's hand. So I'm going to move it down. Okay. I'm going to duplicate this frame, but I'm not going to do anything to change it. I'm going to duplicate again and I'm going to make the change on frame 4. So I'm going to go back to my person. Okay. I'm going to, I think I'm going to erase the face altogether because I think we're going to start doing a profile, like a side view, like looks like he's going sideways. So I'm going to erase all of his facial features. I'm going to erase the arms. Notice I changed the size of my eraser to 4 just so it goes a little faster. I'm going to erase the legs. Okay, and now I'm going to use my pen tool back on 1, and I'm going to draw the eye from the side. He's still smiling. He's still happy. And now his arms are going to be like this, and his legs are still moving. Okay, and maybe I'm going to take my move tool and I'm going to move him to the right a little, like he actually is moving. Now I'm going to go to my balloon and I'm going to use my hand tool and I'm going to drag it a little to the right. Okay, and then I'm going to duplicate this frame and I'm going to duplicate again. And I'm going to change number 6 again. I'm going to go back to my person, and I'm going to maybe just change his arms. Let's change my size of my eraser to make it go faster. I'm going to change his arms, his legs, go to my pen tool, and his arms are going to go like this, and his legs are still running. And maybe I'm going to move him a little bit more, and I'm going to go to my balloon, and I'm going to move that a little bit. And I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to duplicate again, and this time I'm going to have him release the balloon a little bit. So I'm going to go back to my person layer. I'm going to go to my eraser. I'm going to change my eraser size. I'm going to go ahead and delete his arms again and his legs. And click my pen tool, and I'm going to redraw the arms. Legs, I'm going to move him a little. Maybe also, you know what, I'm going to Control Z. I'm also going to erase the mouth and make it, instead of a smile, maybe it's going to be kind of more of a straight line. So it just changes a little bit more to a smirk. Now I'm going to move it forward a little bit. I'm going to go to my balloon, and I'm going to take the eraser, and I'm going to just erase some of the bottom of the string. And then I'm just going to use my hand tool and move it a little bit. And now I'm going to duplicate and duplicate again, go back to my person. I'm going to change the expression on the face. So I'm going to use my eraser tool. I'm going to erase, and then the mouth is going to be something completely different. And just for the sake of trying to get done a little quicker, I'm just going to try to go really quick here. Oh no, he's reaching up, trying to get that balloon. Let's move him a little. Let's go to the balloon, and let's move that up a little too. And then let's duplicate it. I'm going to duplicate it 3 times. And now I'm going to go back to the person, and we are going to erase the face. Oops, let me change the size here of the eraser. Erase the arms. Erase the legs. And redraw. I don't know why I erased the eye. I should have left the eye. Still trying to reach up for that balloon. Still trying to run. He's going to cross his legs a little. I don't know why, but that's what he wants to do. And then the balloon is going to be way out of his reach now. So I'm going to use the hand. I'm going to put the balloon like way out. And then the last one, I'm going to duplicate twice. And then I'm going to have the person facing forward. So I'm going to erase the face again and the arms. And then maybe this is where the crying takes place. So let's erase those arms. Let's erase these strange legs that I did on this last level. Erase this mouth. And let's redraw. So I'm going to go to my pen tool, and the legs are just going to be forward. The arms are going to be on the hips. Okay, I'm going to draw the eye, and a very sad face. And then I'm going to draw some tears. So let's see, what color do we want the tears? Let's do them like white. So let's start. I'm going to zoom in, and we're going to draw a little line, and a little line, and a little line, and a little line. And maybe I'll even go to the balloon and have the balloon float all the way out of the picture. Be a tiny bit left. And then I'll duplicate that, and duplicate that, and then maybe I can just have the tears move just a little bit. Oh, you know what? I drew the tears on the same layer as the person. So in order to move them, I'm going to actually have to erase them. I should have put them on their own layer if I wanted to move them. So I'm actually going to erase them. And then I just have to redraw them going in a little bit of a lower position because I didn't put them on their own layer. Okay. And now I'm going to duplicate like 4 or 5 times just so that last scene holds for like 4 or 5 scenes. And then I'm going to go ahead and just say open preview in a pop-up so we can kind of see, oh, his tears. Oh, this poor little guy. Okay, and that's the end. So now you're ready to save and submit. So you're going to go to the save button over here. You should name this, I think I said flying a balloon. Flying a balloon, oops, spell it right. Flying a balloon. You want to save it as a Piscal, okay? And then you're going to export it as a GIF in order to turn it in. So when you click export, this resolution is really, really small. So what I'm asking you to do is change your resolution so it's between 1500 and 2000, okay? So you're just going to grab the scale button and drag it somewhere between 1500 and 2000. Make sure GIF is selected and you're going to download. And the download of the GIF is what you're going to be turning in. Now it might take a little bit to download, okay, because it's a bigger file. I think I hit download. So just give it a minute to download. And then once it downloads in the corner as a GIF, then you can turn it in. Okay. And that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, good luck.